What's your favorite tax planning strategy? Have you got a go-to?
I'm a big fan of, we work with a lot of people building out their businesses or building their portfolios. And we're a fan of we like to reinvest. So if you're making profits in the business, reinvest it, because you can, when you do have the big payoff, there's huge tax advantages. If you have the big payday when you sell your business, you have things like the 50% active asset write down, and things like the small business rollover. So these can, if you're selling a business, say for 10 million, there's a lot of tax benefits just to sell it at that figure, as opposed to harvesting it personally and investing it that way. But it's not for everyone, because people have to live. People want to. We often find people want to buy bigger houses or save for their kids. And there's good ways to do that, and there's other ways to think about. Other people, they actually want a super balance, and the super route might be there for them as well. But again, it depends on where you are out in life and what things you want to achieve.
Yeah. Personally, I enjoy the small business CGT stuff. I've used that personally and helped a few clients through it as well, for the right person at the right time, that if it hits a sweet spot and we can do our asset protection work and neatly tie it in a bow to provide for future tax planning, and then you're creating some efficiencies there as well. It gets pretty complicated. I think my brain almost broke when I did it myself with the steps that you jump through and the different things that go into it. But I think that there's, it saved us like 6 figures plus in tax, and I've seen it work in similar ways for other people. But it is quite complicated. So you absolutely need someone that knows what it's about and can get it right. And I suppose sort of on that, I know from experience working with a lot of business owners, and I was just chatting to a business owner yesterday, we were having a similar conversation, that you do build a really strong relationship with your accountant, because they end up being quite heavily involved in all of the different things that you're doing in the business, the growth, they're on the journey, supporting you or whatever. But and I know that this is not you guys, but I find that sometimes when I talk to some people, it's like that. The last time we did a small business CGT work with a client, they'd been working with an accountant for like 10 years and they weren't getting looked after. And I could sort of tell that from the start, but it's difficult as an advisor that you don't want to come across that you're saying, like, trying to push them away from a relationship that's existed for a period of time. But at the same time, you're sort of going gently, but can see that there are probably some gaps in there as well. But it's hard, because if you don't, we have probably a little bit more insight than probably the people we're talking to, because we've seen the inside of this and done it ourselves and seen a bunch of other people do it as well. But if you're not an accountant, or if you're not a financial expert, then you don't always know what you don't know, because it's like, even for me, like, I still don't know, like, that small business CGT thing that I did, I had to say, well, I think this is going to work. There's an opportunity there. Now we need to get a good accountant that understands this and get them to make sure that it's sweet, see how that we're going to do it. And the accountant that we ended up using, which thankfully they realized that they needed to change, was then they found ways to make it even better than what we'd initially thought.